this video, we're going to have a very interesting conversation about the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. But first, let's switch to camera 2. Hi, camera 2. This is used mainly in law enforcement situations to legally protect the privacy of citizens. But now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this thing. We're going to stir it up. Now this is an example of a bad cop.
I have to search your backpack.
Hey, no, I got rice, man. Hey, get the hell off me.
Hey,
no, get the hell.
Now this is an example of a good cop.
Are you Quinlan?
Yeah.
Alright, wait, I have a warrant to search your backpack.
What?
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to do it. If you please comply. Alright, thanks very much.
The original Fourth Amendment states, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against
Unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, particularly describing the place to be searched, the persons or things to be seized.
This is the basic modern interpretation. The Fourth Amendment protects people from unreasonable searches and seizures by the government. The Fourth Amendment, however, is not a guarantee against all searches and seizures, but only those that are deemed unreasonable under the law.
These are the exceptions to the Fourth Amendment.
Plain view. So, if an officer is lawfully in a place and has probable cause to believe an item is contraband, stolen, property, or other evidence of a crime, the officer can seize it without a search warrant. This is known as the plain view doctrine. In Horton v. California, the court reiterated when an officer has a right to be where they are, anything an officer observes in plain view is not the product of a search and is admissible as evidence.
Exigent circumstance. Exigent means emergency, which means under life-saving circumstances. Example, an elderly person in a wheelchair is trapped inside a burning apartment. Because lives are at stake, an officer can forcibly enter the apartment without a search warrant to rescue the person. The key time in public need, the officer doesn't have time to get a warrant and there is an immediate risk of harm to the public that requires immediate official action. Consent. Officers can search without a warrant if they have consent from a person who has the authority to give it. Probable cause is not required if the consent is knowingly and intelligently given. Officers must prove the defendant voluntarily consented to a search, and there is no threats or promises of any kind. A child cannot give consent, so you must know the age of a person before you question them if they have given consent.
Lawful arrest. The arrest must be valid under law. For the search without a warrant to be valid, the officer must be able to specifically articulate probable cause that the person committed a crime, and there must have been an intention on the part of the officer to arrest prior to the search of the person. What is prohibited is the search of a person who is not yet under arrest, in which contraband is found, and then an arrest for the possession of the contraband based on that search.
Motor vehicle. In 1999, the court ruled in Maryland v. Dyson that a warrantless search of a vehicle may be justified if an officer has probable cause to believe the vehicle contains contraband, controlled substances, or criminal evidence. The court reiterated that although the search is limited to areas where the officer has probable cause to believe an item may be located, the search extends to any container found that might contain the item. Keep in mind that stopping a vehicle for a routine violation doesn't mean there's a probable cause to believe that the vehicle contains contraband, controlled substances, or evidence of a crime. There's a rule for the Fourth Amendment. It's called the fruit of the poisonous tree. Pretty much if an officer illegally obtains any evidence from a crime scene, it is inadmissible in a court, meaning they cannot use it because it was illegally obtained.
The problem is government violating our Fourth Amendment right, taking away our privacy.
The whole purpose of the Fourth Amendment is to prevent the government from doing just this. It's to prevent it from interfering with the privacy rights of innocent people, a lot of innocent people, in order to find a few that may be planning something wrong.
You have a right to all of your property. The government cannot come in and do a cavity search and invade your property.
To cooperate. I have constitutional rights under the Indiana Constitution. You have to show me a warrant showing me probable cause and showing me what authorization and what venue you have to come onto my property and trespass. You can't do that without a court order.
Without probable cause. And probable cause is a legal term that basically means that the police have to have a very good reason for why they're trying to search you or take your property away from you.
If any officer denies this right to any person, that officer will be punished by law. So, to break it down, the police cannot search someone's body, house, papers, or effects, other things, without having a good reason. Of course, the question always is, what is a good reason?
I don't know.
Unreasonable searches and seizures are those that are without cause. Actually, without probable cause. Probable cause means that the police have a good reason to believe that someone has broken the law. The police cannot do anything until they convince a judge that they have probable cause, and then they can get a warrant, which gives them permission to search. After the police convince a judge that a crime has been committed, a warrant is issued. Search warrant must say what is to be searched, a house, car, person, when it is to be searched, and what they expect to find. And the warrant must be signed by the judge. Many cases are dismissed in court because someone is arrested for having something that was not listed on a search warrant. This amendment is the reason for police always asking permission to come into your house or search your car. The police can arrest someone without a warrant when there are special circumstances. If they are chasing someone from a scene or crime, or if they catch someone in an act of crime, they don't have time to go and talk to a judge and then come back to get you. After they arrest the person, they must then convince the judge that the person had probable cause to arrest them. This amendment was written to protect people's privacy against the government.
What you gonna do when they come for you, bad boy?